Joining us now is Seth Denbo, who is the AHA Director of Scholarly Communication and Digital Initiatives. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You're the first person to hold that title. Tell us about your role.
So scholarly communications and the way in which scholars use digital tools and methods is changing very rapidly. Everything that we do is being impacted by this changes that we're living through. And so my role is really primarily strategic, and it's to kind of think about the ways in which the AHA can use the digital, the things that are happening in the digital world, both to better serve our members and the discipline of history more broadly, and also to help our members and historians in the academic world and in all sorts of other walks of life where historians work, to understand the digital changes that are happening in their society, in their work, and to better negotiate those changes, to support them in the way that those changes are happening.
Talk about the range of opportunities, I guess, for historians in all of this, and what are how is that benefiting your field?
That's actually a question. It's hard to know where to begin. The range of opportunities are huge. There's, I was just in a breakfast with a bunch of people who are editors of history journals, and we were talking about the ways in which there are some things that are lost by when these changes happen, but there are a lot of gains. And it's changing the way that people do research. It's changing the way that people present their research, and it's changing some of the opportunities for getting to different kinds of audiences. We can support scholarship that allows people to think, to talk to audiences that they didn't otherwise have access to through the web. So that's a really big change that's happening in what we do.
In the way you communicate.
In the way we communicate. I mean, really the way we do everything we do in our scholarship, the way historians teach, the way historians research, and then the way they communicate about that research to other historians, to students, and to the wider world. Teaching is amazing. The revolution in resources on the web means that you can, and this is just one small example, means that you can teach with primary sources in a way that you couldn't do 10 years ago, because so much of it is available on the web. And that gives real opportunities. It also provides challenges. That's a hard thing to do, say, with undergraduates, because they don't, because you also have to teach them the skills for dealing with this stuff. But give the opportunities for just exposing students and to resources they never could have gotten a hold of before is just amazing.
So there's something on Sunday called That Camp. What is that?
That Camp is an unconference that's sort of semi-affiliated with the larger conference, but anybody can come along. You don't have to be coming to the AHA to come along to that camp. And so I said it's an unconference, which means that there's no set schedule for the conference. That camp stands for the Humanities and Technology Camp, and anybody who wants to can sign up on the web and come along and suggest a session, suggest if you have a question or an issue you want to talk about related to how historians use technology. You can come along, propose a session on Sunday morning. Everybody there votes on what sessions they want to be held. We then put together a schedule for the day, and we go from there. And it's very informal. It's very open. Doesn't cost anything. Anybody can come along, and it's a great place to sort of think about new ideas, exchange ideas. Projects get born at that camps. They're new people make contacts and come up with an idea and run with it, and they talk about, but people can come along and talk about anything, and it's a great opportunity.
Lastly, what are your goals in your new role for AHA in 2014?
My biggest goal is probably to figure out what I'm doing, but really trying to think strategically about the long term for the organization and for how things like open access are changing the world in which we live and the way in which we publish. So, and that's a big one. I think getting to grips with open access publishing and how it's changing what we do and how we communicate about what we do is really important for the coming year. I also have some goals about internal things. We want to build better resources that our members and historians who aren't necessarily our members, but maybe should be, use the web and use our resources. So we want to build some stuff that will supplement what we already do on the web.
Sounds fascinating, like you've got your work cut out for you, but good luck
That's
in
for
your new
sure.
role.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.